the Halo TV series on Paramount Plus is a very divisive show at the moment. A lot of people seem to not be enjoying it. When I first watched the first episode when it came out, I thought it was kind of a garbage show, but I thought, we'll check it out. Let's keep watching it, see what happens. Sometimes the first episode isn't indicative of the way a series ends up going, and I'm glad I continued watching it because I think was it episode 4 or 5 that just came out, and it was actually awesome. The show has, some people say it's filler. It's not really filler. It's just more character stuff. And I understand the criticisms. Like, I know if you're like a fan of the games, you'll be like, or the books, like you're like, why didn't they kind of follow the the plot a bit more closely? Why are they changing Master Chief's character? Some people are calling Master Chief Master Cheeks because he gets his butt cheeks out in one of the episodes. There's actually quite a few butts in the show. I don't know. I think I like the direction they're going with Chief. Just for the record, I've played like Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach, and Infinite. And I'll be honest, I did skip pretty much every cutscene apart from those in Halo Reach. I didn't find Chief he's like a cool character, but like I don't find the stories particularly compelling. I don't think they'd make, I don't know, it's hard to say. It can be done really good, but I don't think that they'd necessarily make the best TV series. It might make a really good movie, but I think in a show where you want people coming back each week, week after week to keep following it, I don't think the following the games would make a particularly compelling show. In saying that, I also listened to the audiobook of The Fall of Reach, which is really, really good. It's way better than it has any right being. It's I think they probably could have adapted that. In saying that, I still think the direction they're going is kind of interesting. I'm enjoying it. So there's a few things that are different about the show that I think are kind of riling people up a bit, and that is they changed the characters of Miranda Keyes and Captain Keyes, or Commander Keyes, I'm not sure his name, and Halsey, and they made them kind of all family. I know a lot of people aren't enjoying that. I think that it works. I think what they've done is they've merged the character of Keyes and Sergeant Johnson into one, which I think is not a bad idea. And I like him. I think he's kind of cool. The Miranda Keyes, I can kind of see why people don't like her. She's not, but you know what? Not watching the cutscenes, I don't know what her original character's like, so I don't know if I'm missing out on anything. Comment below, tell me if you think that I'm an idiot for skipping out the cutscenes, but to me, I don't think they were that great. Anyway, in my mind, things that they've done really well, they've kept to the designs of the show fairly faithfully. They do hit some of the same beats that the I guess the books do as well, like just like a few like little comments and like just some scenes that were straight out of the Fall of Reach, which I thought was kind of a nice little nod. I know some people said that the showrunners haven't watched any, like they didn't play the games and stuff, but I feel like they must have read the books, which is a great place to start, to be honest. I think a lot of the lore that people are that want them to be like, what's the word, following so closely, I do think they are putting some of that stuff in there. I think they're getting some good stuff. To me, one of the standouts in the show, apart from Chief, and I think Pablo Schreiber's excellent as Chief. I know he's not like the one in the game, but I do think he's a great choice. I like the fact that he takes his helmet off. I don't think Chief is particularly compelling the way he is in the games, as much as people like to think he is. I think he's not that exciting of a character. However, I think Pablo Schreiber's great. I like the sort of the conflicted nature of the character that they were portraying him as. I also wasn't sure after the first episode, but watching like episode 5, I really like the Spartans. I think they're all really cool. I want to know more about them. I like forgot what her name is. The blonde one with the red in her hair. I think she's quite interesting. The other two we haven't really seen yet, but they've had some really cool moments, and hopefully going forward they get their own, like they actually get some screen time. What else? Some of the stuff I don't like is occasionally the show looks cheap. There's some, I don't know, there's just like some cheapness to it that doesn't look particularly good. Most of the time it looks good though. Another thing that I find a little bit dull at this point, which not saying it's going to stay like that, but I think her name's Quan, the chick with like the mullet. Her storyline is kind of, I'm not sure how it's going to tie into everything else. It seems like it goes from the UNSC storyline to the Rebel storyline, and it doesn't seem to have any impact. I don't know where it's going. It's not very compelling. I do like I think his name's Soren, the ex-Spartan that's with her. I think he's a really cool character. But again, I'm not sure what that's got to do with anything. It just seems like it's kind of wasting screen time, or at least saving costs so they can do more with the other parts of the show. What else? Again, going into the show, I thought that the female character with the Covenant was going to be, like the human female character was going to be kind of just done to save costs on animating an alien. But I actually think it's quite interesting, the idea of these chosen ones who can interact with this artifact, and them kind of needing her because they need to interact with it and none of them can, which I think is quite an interesting twist on the whole Covenant-human relationship. I actually think that's quite clever, which again I think does show that they have the people who've written the show have actually read the books, have looked into stuff. I don't think they've just seen pictures and then decided to make a show based on pictures. What else? I think they really nail, again, one of the other things that makes me think they've read the books is in the books a lot of the Covenant weaponry are incredibly powerful, more so than in the games, like significantly more powerful. And in this show, like the guns are like ripping people apart. There's blood everywhere. It's actually surprisingly gory. Like I wouldn't have expected them to go down that route, but there's like dismemberments. There's like blood spray everywhere. Like it's surprisingly violent, which is actually quite cool. I really like the designs of the elites. I think they've done a really good job. They're very bulky. They look like the size of brutes. And spoiler alert for episode 5, the brutes, one brute is shown and he's massive. And again, they have stuck to a lot of stuff from the games that I think is quite cool. Like Chief, like, you know, when they get a lot of shots to their armor, their shields deplete and it makes the same noise, which I think's kind of cool. Like everything seems roughly similar to the games. Like he's like shooting people with the magnum up close. It's like killing them in one shot, kind of like the games. There's a lot of similarities there. And also the action scene in episode 5 was definitely well worth the wait of having no action for 3 episodes. It was movie level action as far as I'm concerned. Just really cool, like choreography, like the escalation of the battle was really cool. It was quite long as well. The CGI was fantastic. And again, one of the things that I thought they might do, which they haven't, is they haven't made Master Chief a secondary character in his own show. Like when there's an action scene, he's the most impressive, person on the battlefield. They don't kind of try to, outshine him by having someone else save him or do something. Like he is definitely the centerpiece of the action, which I think is really good. But in saying that, a lot of the other characters still get some cool moments, but he is still the focus, which I think a lot of people were kind of concerned that it wouldn't be. He'd just be a side character in his own show, but he isn't. He's front and center most of the time. What else? But yeah, I think if you're someone who's watched the first 2 episodes and you're not particularly into it, or you're kind of annoyed with some of the things that they've done, I would say just keep watching it. I would say at least watch to episode 5. If you're not feeling it by episode 5, you're probably just going to be annoyed all the way through it. The show's not for you. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. I know some people saying the writing's really bad. I don't think the writing's bad. I think it might be mediocre in places, but I think it's only 5 episodes in. It's got time to get better, and yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Comment below, tell me what you think. I will do another video once the season ends. Sort of, hopefully it continues on this upwards trajectory of awesomeness, but we'll see. Yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.